probably had to change the time that we meet from Tuesdays, from Tuesday to Friday, because Tuesday looks like it's the day that I normally have the management meetings. So when I don't have, I will have both sessions, because I think we are moving a bit so that then everyone can be able to present quite early and get my comments, and then before you go to the next stage, which will be to basically give the chapter 1, which is more or less the extended concept. Okay. So let's start from where we stopped. I think there are two people who didn't present. I think it was for because of various reasons. I think one of them was the issue of compatibility. So what I will ask you, if you are using maybe another operating system that is not able right now for you to present through Skype, then you can give one of your colleagues, and then you can be talking as the person presents the PowerPoint. I think that will be good also to collaborate. So let me just go to who was supposed to present. Can you hear me? Someone can say something so that. Okay, fantastic. So I think I will try to make all of you to be presenters. Admit all. So the next person, who was the next person? Just a minute. Like presenter. Admit. Okay, so let me just go to my records and see who was supposed to present. Oh my God. Okay, so I think we had so we had the Marvin code notes we did. Intelligent e-commerce we did.
Hello, sir.
Hello, yes.
Yeah, I presented last.
Yes,
last
I remember. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Then Ogiga mobile money scanner for visually. Yeah, this one also we presented. Personal Rosanna, I think we did. Anti-poaching we did. James, yeah, James also we did. I think we had gone to the second page. Hate speech we did with David, and then Lorna we did, right? Then Waweru Madenge, did we do? Did you present?
Yeah, that's yeah. I was the last one to present.
Yeah, the last one. So we can go to Stephen Kimani. Stephen Kimani is on profit optimization. So Stephen Kimani. Admit. So let me just manage participant actions so everyone to be Stephen Kimani. Can you hear me? Let me just try to make everyone a presenter. Make presenter. Stephen Kimani, you can be presenting, but actually admit all. So if Stephen Kimani is not there, then we can go to the next person. Samuel Mbivi. Then from Samuel Mbivi we'll go to Joshua Ocharo. Maybe let me just represent this. Joshua Ocharo, and then Papa, and then Karanja, that in that order. So this time we can go to Samuel Mbidi.
Yeah.
Are you able to present, Sama?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm not able to present, as in you've disabled my sharing screen.
Just a minute. Let me just see. Okay, Samuel. I am trying to look for your name. Samuel Mulwa, no, that's a different person.
Oh, that's me, that's me.
That's you.
Yeah.
I've made you to be the presenter, then now that can work. Okay, Steve doesn't have electricity. So that is understandable. Let me just note it down that doesn't have electricity. Okay, fine. Go on, please.
Can you be able to see?
Got leptons, but are you sharing the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, now we can see, yes. All of you can see? You can make it, you can actually have, you should have captured it. Anyway, it's okay. So let's start with the title and then we'll go to the next point.
So that's the title, Acoustic-Based Surveillance System Using Machine Learning. So I'll go directly to the proposed solution. So I realized that there's a drawback with CCTV cameras, as in their range, their scope. So I can employ use of audio sensory data to generate information, and therefore this system is going to help security personnel better detect emergency situations before they escalate.
So like you want to, what exactly do you want to do in terms of, you want to detect using sound?
Yes, I'm going to use machine learning models, as in the system is supposed to pick sound. Then the algorithm, the model is able to predict whether the sounds that are coming from the various people or the various environments can cause security issues.
What do you mean by causing security issues?
Okay, I'll give an example. You have a CCTV camera, but
Yes.
if someone is being mugged and maybe the person is shouting, the person who is observing the CCTV camera cannot really tell what is going on if they're not they're not paying real attention. So if you're using audio, if you employ audio to complement CCTV, the audio is going to be picked from the CCTV, and then it's going to run into the model, and then it's going to alert the security personnel. Maybe someone is screaming, or there's a likelihood of a riot that is likely to happen.
So is the sound that you want to capture, is it from your from the compound, or you want it to be from outside the housing?
Outside the housing. So I'm interested in stadiums and political rallies, because this is where we have a lot of criminal activity likely to take place.
Okay. So outside, how will you differentiate between sound that is basically coming from because people will be passing, maybe drunkards and all those kind of aspects.
Okay.
Why not do it internal, like to detect if, see, there is a CCTV, but then maybe there might be how do you call it? There might be an attack from inside. Like for instance, thieves have gotten, like for instance, maybe thieves have gotten into the place, or it could be also sound. I was thinking like when you talked about this, I thought that you were actually going to use sound for people to enter. But that is not what you wanted, right?
As in, what do you mean, people to enter?
Like, for instance, instead of me entering my barcode,
okay,
I can use my voice, open, and then it opens, it detects my voice. But then now what you will, then the bigger part there is how to detect if the person is under duress or not.
Yes, and that's why I'll use some models which are able to do that. there are also models that have been developed to be able to cut the noise. So the noise is not going to be a big issue in this project.
Yeah, so the project sounds good, just that you need to probably rethink on the application area. Like, are you going to enhance the gate security by basically ensuring that not only, because I think many of the homes now they detect using the number plate, isn't it?
Yes.
Now you can also use the number plate and then combined with the voice, but then now you try and see whether the person is trying to fake or is being whatever attacked. But I think the major thing should be the people who you are able to train from inside, like the residents, as opposed to just applying it to the general public, because the general public is quite difficult because there are many how do you call it, there are many varied people who might pass and who might make whatever and so on. But if you are able to guard from inside, then the rest can work well. So I think the thing is that probably you need to adapt to in terms of the application.
Okay.
That's good.
Thank you.
Then the sound, how are you going to capture the sound?
This is what I was to do. I was to download the various audio files for people screaming, others demonstrating, and then I am able to train my model, and then I deploy that model to the real system, the real world, and then it's able to predict.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine, good. That sounds nice. And then we can move on to, so you can just take into account what I've said, then I think you can remodify and it will be nice. Then the next one is Joshua Ocharo. Joshua, can you hear me? Are you enabled? Joshua.
Hello?
Yes?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
The sharing controls are disabled.
Okay, let me just see. Are you starting with the number Joshua?
Starting with Momanyi.
Momanyi Joshua, make a presenter. Go on, please.
Can you see the screen?
It's loading. Yeah, it's coming up. You can just put, you could have just made the presentation mode by just saying PowerPoint.
Okay. So for my project, I wanted to do in-house stroke takeout ordering system. So for the problem statement, I realized that there's a lot of time wasted by in-house and takeaway customers in lines, and there's been a reduction in food quality in the restaurants due to the limited time to prepare orders and the overcrowding in restaurants. Also, in customers are also faced with the problem of lack of sitting space in restaurants due to this overcrowding.
So how will you basically? Anyway, just go on with the proposed solution.
So for the solution is to create a mobile application that allows the user to make an order while working with their own conditions, so they're able to cut the lines when they get to the restaurant. They use
The lines.
Yeah, like they order before they get to the restaurant, so they get to skip the lines.
Yeah. So what tool will you use in terms of what tool will you use in terms of the when I get to the restaurant, what will show that I have ordered, or how will I synchronize that?
So the restaurants, they'll create a profile on the app, and the customers will be able to access the profile and able to see the menu, and they'll be able to order.
Like, am I ordering from home? I am getting a bit confused. You are saying you are ordering from home, right?
Yeah, this is for customers who prefer like eating at the restaurant, or they prefer like going there and taking the food.
So what's
Like
the difference
takeaway.
between what is the difference between most of these restaurants have already that kind of an application where you order from home and then they can bring for you, or you can go pick or whatever. What's the difference now? What will be a different thing contribution?
This is different from the delivery app, because for the delivery it caters for the customers who are at home, but it doesn't cater for the customers who come to the restaurant. Like for an example, if you're coming from work and you're going home, instead of getting to home and ordering like through the delivery app and paying the delivery fee, you can just pass by the restaurant and pick up the order as you go.
Yeah, but will it take really a difficult thing if I've already have the app that does for delivery? It's just for me to say, instead of the delivery being at the place where the person is, instead of us asking the person whether we will deliver at home, then we will have an option: either you deliver at home or you deliver at the hotel. So I'm not seeing like what is the, because if they already have an app that is existing that does the delivery home, then you will change the location of delivery to the location of the hotel, isn't it? Because the person is coming to collect there. So I'm not seeing what is the new contribution.
The new
Like, how
contribution
different is it? Yeah, how different is it from the current ordering systems?
The system was supposed to kind of like compete with the delivery system, because for the delivery system it's the charges, and it only caters for the ones who are at home, and this one is for the in-house customers.
I don't know whether you have understood what I'm
But
saying.
yeah, I've understood.
Yeah, like for instance, in the app, the already existing apps. So what you need to compare yourself is between your app and what is existing. Now, the existing app has the possibility. So that's one end. So the one for delivery has a possibility of you, because they normally have to do the same thing. They have to say, so customer so and so, it needs to be delivered at this particular place. But then now, if you are collecting, then they only need, actually they don't need to change anything on the application, because then they will say customer so and so picks from our place. And then the other thing that you need to think of is currently, like if you go to McDonald's, I don't know whether there is any in Nairobi. Is there?
There isn't.
Or even these other ones, which other food joints do we have in Nairobi? Anyway, but let me give maybe the example that I'm used to with the McDonald's. If you go to a McDonald's place, then normally you can punch either from home, so you can do the app from the app that is supplied by them. You can just enter the values of what you want, and then when you get there, they will start, then you pay, and then when you get there, basically you produce the receipt or the number, the order number, and then they are able to give you the things that you have ordered. So on both sides, it looks like that is, unless now you do differently, which I don't know how you will do, but it looks like it's already existing, kind of.
I'll try and see the different features I can add to it to make it better than what's existing.
Yeah. So maybe it could be the way in which probably the payment is made, or now that we are talking about gadgets not being, like for instance, if you develop a way in which maybe NIC enabled kind of app where probably you can be able to tap the phones without them, or Bluetooth or whatever, so that then that communication, probably like the way we have now the issue of COVID, which basically does not allow people to be sharing things, maybe then that could be a possibility that you will consider, so that then these devices, as you are paying,
Yes.
you can order in advance, and then as you are paying, you can be able to swipe against each other and stuff like that. Or yeah, anyway, so you can try to think a bit there, so you have enough time, because this is the beginning.
Okay, thank you.
Fantastic, good. Then after that we go to Papa. Papa, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, are you able to present? I've made you a presenter.
Okay, let me share screen.
Then after Papa, we'll have Moses. Moses, are you there? Moses Ndungu. Moses Ndungu. Go on, Papa.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. But I think you have put some music at the background. Could you switch it off?
Okay, sure. Okay, sorry about that.
Okay.
So for my project, it's an early infection prediction system in expectant mothers. And in this case, we're using IoT and machine learning. So the problem statement here is Infection is the third cause of maternal deaths, and if not detected early, death can occur on average maybe on 3 to 6 days. In most cases, infection is detected rather late, and hence brings about complications in pregnancy. In some areas, for example, if you're looking in the remote areas, for maybe to get the medical services, it's quite limited. And in cases where the mother or the expectant mother wouldn't know that they're experiencing some complication until the symptomatic stage of the infection comes up, let's say vomiting, let's say dehydration and that stuff. So in this case, with this time when she realizes the infection is probably spread and it's in its late stages, and this may cause even stillbirth. Yes. So previously also learned that it's less than 70%, no, actually 36% of mothers receive antenatal care, being the fact that the rest don't receive it due to the fact that one, they are too far from the medical access services, or it's too expensive. So what I propose in my solution is the fact that medical practitioners use vital signs to alert for detection infection. So I'm trying to tap the fact that we can use vital signs for early prediction of an infection or abnormal pregnancy. So you may ask yourself what the vital signs are. So we have pulse rate, breathing, blood pressure, and the rest. So it's actually four. So out of this, the pulse or heart rate is the first and it's the earliest indication of an onset of infection. In this case, you may realize the pulse rate actually spikes up 72 hours or prior to the symptomatic stage of any infection. So if we can actually tap in that continuous reading of pulse rate, we may actually be able to help you detect an infection before the symptomatic stage, the onset of the symptomatic stage. So in this project, I aim to use pulse rate telemetry to predict the onset of this infection. Through this, I'll use a pulse rate sensor from the robot, which is just a simple, like a wristband, which from there will send data into a database. From this database, you can collect it and run against our machine models, because you're constantly monitoring your vitals. So in against a machine model, you'll be able to see and alert you, just in case maybe, because I'm taking an example for first-time mother, you wouldn't know that maybe heartbeat is meant to be at 100 beats per minute. This is actually normal. For human being, you see this, you start freak out and say you have experiencing some problems. So if we can tap in the fact that you constantly monitor your heart rate, if it goes above this, in this case, this tachycardia, let's say it goes from 101, 105, 107, you have tachycardia, and tachycardia is the first thing, a number of related infections. So in this, we run through the machine model, and we can actually alert you that in the next a day or so, you probably have the symptomatic phases of this infection. So it's advisable for you to arrange, let's say, a meeting with a medical practitioner. Yeah, so that's what I had in mind.
How will, thank you very much for that. How will you get in terms of the data that you are getting from the sensor?
Yeah.
So it is capturing from, is it connected in real time, or how will you get the data?
For this case, I was thinking maybe real time, because you will never know when it starts, but I was also thinking maybe real time, or maybe once or twice in maybe 30 minutes, you can just get your heart rate. Then from that point, you can, because you're trying to preserve also power in an alternative.
But that would be too much, because it's like the mother will not be doing any other thing other than measuring.
No, the thing is, it's a small device. It's just like a wristband. Let's say this a small wristband. It's very easy. It will just keep on taking and relaying data to us automatically.
So the wristband will be throughout, will be worn throughout and capturing.
if you want to, you can wait throughout. But also, as I was saying, you can maybe if you go to sleep, you can wait if you want it, or as long as you wait, it's just.
I think probably the better thing will be to have a specific, because pregnant mothers probably need to be more careful. So you can have a specific time, like in the morning,
Okay.
every morning, every midday, and every evening. And then now that the data that will be captured,
Yes.
you can try to now do the analysis based on like the last 1 day, the last 5 days. This is has been the trend. So if it is increasing or decreasing or whatever, then you can be able to detect when there is a complication.
Okay, I understand.
So, but are you only using one sensor?
No, I was thinking maybe to use a blood pressure sensor, but I'm yet to see how to integrate it. So
A blood pressure and which other one?
a heart rate and temperature.
Okay, fine. Maybe those things will you integrate it into one device?
That's how I'm looking into it, how I can integrate them into one device.
Yeah, and then now the machine learning part probably then you can, because it's not yeah, anyway, maybe then you can be able to check on which machine learning method will you use, or will you use rules like if the last 3 days the pressure has been increasing, then or the pressure has gone beyond this, that it's normally this, and stuff like that, then that will be good.
Okay, thank you. Understand.
Fantastic. Good. Thank you very much, Papa.
Thank you.
Next is you said you are not in Kenya, right?
No, I'm actually in Kenya.
You are in Kenya, okay.
Yes, sir.
And then we go to the next person, who is Moses Ndungu. Moses, I can't locate you on the list. Moses?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
What is your name starting with?
Moses Karanja.
Moses Karanja, but you put the number before. Okay. Fine. You can now present.
Yeah, just a minute.
Yes. Are you having problems, Moses?
I'm trying to upload the PowerPoint.
Yeah, just to go to present, and then you can select there. You select present present PowerPoint files.
Yeah. Can you see anything on the screen? It says you're uploading.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the project I'll be doing it's basically a model that I'm building for monitoring kids' activities in an online environment. That's the name, online monitoring for kids. So the problem statement is that during this corona time and basically any other times, kids have much more free time than adults. Therefore, they use this time to spend it in an online environment, such as social media, video sharing applications, and such. So the question is, what are they doing while being in this online environment? So the way a parent can monitor what the kid does while in an online by viewing the child's browsing history. However, it's a bit easy to delete the browsing history. So I was proposing building a model that will be able to look at what this kid does in an online environment, and also based on the child's age, the model should be classify and be able to thought that maybe this kid of this age should be viewing educational content, animations and such. So I was thinking of the model on YouTube.
On?
Using image analysis and computer vision. I was thinking of how I can build the model to be able to what kind of videos the child watches on YouTube. The model should be able to classify what these the videos they are using what I've trained it with, and basically the parent should then also be able to view this data. So it eliminates the parent going to browsing data, and the parent will be more informed on what the child does online.
Why can't we just use of sites?
Pardon?
Why can't we just use blocking of sites? Like, for instance, you develop whatever that is able to, the parent is able to block the sites that he doesn't want that are under 18 or whatever, that the parent doesn't want the child to see. Instead of waiting until the child has gone to those sites and then you start analyzing, which most likely with the current kind of generation they would delete, as you say. Why can't you have a site blocker? Can't we just use the normal site blockers that we have?
Okay, if we look at a perspective such as YouTube, for different parents, we have different perspectives on what is okay for kids or not. For example, let's say videos on documentaries on war. For certain parents, they'll be okay with this type of content. While for others, this type of content will not be okay for them.
Yeah, but even in YouTube, you see, if you have a way in which you can say, let's say, I block all sites except block all the YouTubers except probably this particular YouTube from institution that I am confident in. And then if the kid requires us to ask Because I think they have done that in the university where you go to any, there are some sites you can't go to, but if you really need it, then you ask the IT services to give you access. So you say that this is a good site and so on, and then they look at it, they review, and then they put it, list it. Just the same way that we are doing the Safari, your data bundles, the one that the university is giving, listing the particular sites and then the rest, of course, for the use of this particular aspect. So I'm wondering, why can't that work? Each of us monitor, because what you're saying is post-analysis, like what was. Instead of that, why don't we have it from happening instead of you analyzing after? I don't know.
Yeah, so post analysis. Yeah. Basically, for the model, we'll kind of be analyzing after that is. So the model I was thinking of building will be taking data from parents.
What kind of data parents to give? Are you there? Hello, Moses, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, sorry about that. So I was saying that the model will be taking data from the parents. So the parent will be able to first of all view what your child does in an online environment. From then on, the parent will be able to say that this type of content is okay with me, while this one is not.
When does he do that? That's the only bone of contention.
When
does he do that? After the kid has gone to the site, or before? Then you are producing the
for the model I was thinking, it was doing that after.
Yeah, but you see now, after then it will not be useful because the student to the site. What I was trying to ask you, why don't you think of doing before? So say you can develop a method of whitelisting and blacklisting of sites, so that then the parent keeps on populating, or you can have an automatic way of trying to determine what is good and based on your analysis.
Okay.
Like you can have both. Like you determine it, and then the parent can keep on either adding or removing what is not good, so that then the to access sites. So if the kid wants more sites than the ones that the parent has provided, on asking the parent, then the parent can give consent. I don't know whether that could be viable.
Yeah, it is viable. It's making sense.
And then the other thing that you need to look at is what will be from the normal firewall or the normal filtering tools that we have on the internet. So that will be your homework probably.
Pardon?
There are already filtering tools on the internet. So like there are many downloadable stuff. Some of them you pay, some it's free, which you can be able to filter. like list, white list or black list sites. So that what you will have to justify then is what will be different from me going to the internet and downloading one of those tools. I guess in your literature, then you'll have to analyze those and see where you'll do the contribution.
Okay, I understand.
Good, Asante. Then next person. Who was next actually? Pop. So is Moses. Next to Julie. Jerry. Is the username you're using so that I can put you a presenter?
Hi. Julie.
Hi. Huh?
Julie Munui.
Julie.
Yeah.
Starts with.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Let me make you a presenter. Yeah, I've made you a presenter. So okay. I think he looks like Moses. Could you end the presentation, please? Presenting. Okay, fine. I've ended his presentation. So Julie, you can go on.
Okay, I'm uploading.
Julie, I can.
I'm still uploading, sir.
Oh, okay, fine. I thought you were talking.
Okay. Can you see the presentation?
Yes.
Okay. So as I had proposed earlier, I want to do a real-time e-learning platform for Kenyan high schools. As you all know, the concept of learning in Kenyan high schools is not very common. And in cases like this, where we experience a pandemic, it becomes a challenge in learning because the platforms, or rather the solutions that are provided, are not enough, which include TV and radio programs, sharing of revision content via platforms such as email and WhatsApp. We also acknowledge that some sites provide some study materials, but the content is quite scattered. So some of the challenges are the students not be catered for because of the different classes they are in. It's also difficult to assess the students in terms of their performance and how much content they're reading. The content is scattered and there is no real way of measuring what they've done. So the question is, what next? In order to solve this problem, I was thinking of an online platform which should have relevant study materials, relevant tools and tests, and a real-time performance monitoring technique where maybe you have, if the student is reading notes, it can show if the student has read a certain percentage, and also the assessments can be monitored. So with that, you can be able to solve the problem at hand. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.   Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what will be different from that and the e kind of platform like Moodle?
Okay. In this application, you are trying to look in the Kenyan context. First of all, we need to put real-time monitoring, so the teachers can evaluate the students in terms of how much they've done, and also the test.
Yeah, but if maybe you out of the box, like what if without saying that it is Kenyan scenario, can it still hold? Like for instance, if it is there is an app there which is basically able to do what you're trying to do is self-paced, right?
Pardon?
Like you want different learners to learn at different rates.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then now you need to compare all there is what we call adaptive, where like for instance the hello?
Pardon, I'm sorry, my internet is not
Can you
quite
hear me?
stable. Yeah, I can.
Yeah, so there is learning. What that means is that you present the material with the to the student, but then you keep on checking the student is enjoying or advancing.
Yeah.
So you need to get what kind of modality. I think last time I mentioned something like you think of using like eye tracking kind of, so that then you can be able to analyze eye tracking. Have you ever had? Hello, Judy?
Hello, I'm sorry, my internet is quite unstable.
Yeah, so what I was asking, have you ever had eye tracking?
I have had.
Or it could be eye tracking, or it could be just the normal mouse movement. Like for instance, if the student so much around a particular content, then you realize that either he's getting difficulty or he likes it.
Okay.
Or there's a pace which he will like, and then so that then you can be able to link this with the present more materials or something. That's one way that you could think of, is based on the exercises. Like if you present a particular exercise on a particular, it adapts and checks with the topics that the student is not doing well, and then you can adapt to that. Many tools on the internet, so you can try to check and see how you can combine some of them, and then so that then you can do us better.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much for the presentation. So we'll go to the next person, who is Stephen Gitonga. And then after Stephen Gitonga, we'll have Nicole Agnes. Then after Nicole Agnes, we'll have Luz Lado. So I'm going as per the way you actually submit your abstracts. So that's the order I'm following. Next, so let me go to Onga. Steven, which username are you using? Steven Gitonga. That is S Steven Nyaga. Steven Nyaga, are you the same person as Gitonga? Hello? Hello?
Hi.
Are you person as Gitonga?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Let me make. We can't hear you. Can hardly hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes. So, Julie, please end your presentation.
Hello, I think I ended it.
Still see it. Let me just see. Okay, fine. Stephen, now you can go next. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm opening the PowerPoint.
Then we can go to Phyllis after Nicole. Okay, after Nicole, we'll have to Lado, and then after that, we'll have Phyllis. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, fine. Go ahead, please.
So I wanted to do street recognition system for the deaf during the COVID-19 pandemic. So for the deaf community, lip reading is one of the major ways they understand and communicate with others. But during this COVID-19 situation, many have been forced to wear masks to cover up, and that covers up the mouth area. So people have been forced to use confusing gestures or pieces of paper to exchange information with the deaf. So the proposed solution was a communication, or rather a mobile-based system where the deaf will be able to create chat rooms where they can invite other people into the chat room so that they can be able to speak into their own phone, and a text representation of what is said by each person is displayed in the chat room, making it easier for the deaf to keep track of what everyone is saying while they have their masks on. So not only will this increase communication with the deaf while wearing face masks, but also cater for social distancing during the COVID-19 period. Then finally, the application will still prove beneficial post COVID-19 because it will help the deaf to interact in group discussions, for example, in family gatherings or office meetings where they can't read the lips of each person, like in a group discussion. Yes.
Now, what I'm wondering is, are the deaf able to make normal language normal kind of language presentations? Like, I don't know whether you have ever interacted with a deaf person?
Yeah.
You're working with the deaf, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever interacted with one?
Yes, I have.
Which, you know the language that they speak?
Yes, sign language.
Yeah, so they use the sign language. So, but you are talking about speech.
Yes, yes.
So how will that happen?
Of course, the deaf can still read. So I'm converting. The main problem here is those who can speak trying to communicate with the deaf. So those who can speak mainly don't know sign language, and that's why I'd rather take their speech, convert it to text, and display it in the chat rooms. And
So you will take the speech from the person who is talking, and then you convert it that the deaf can be able to read.
yeah, and keep track of who's saying what at what time. And also they'll be able to respond using text, and it will still be displayed in the chat room for all the people they're communicating to see as well.
Is this being used on an online platform or during their normal use, like as I'm walking out of the road?
During normal use.
So I will put my mobile app, like me as a deaf person, I will put a mobile app and then it will capture as you are talking. Is that so?
What will happen is, let's say the deaf person has the application.
Yeah.
They will be able to send a request to the person they want to communicate to, or the people they want to communicate to. Of course, they'll also need to have the application installed, so that once the chat room is open, everyone can speak into their own phone, but speech representation will be displayed in the chat room.
Because there is one of the other the project that was done last year was a tool that does actually maybe similar to what you're doing, and that's speech for the blind. So it develops a sign language for them. So like for instance, when I say something, it automatically on their device, like for instance, if they walk around with tablets, then as you are talking, I don't know whether maybe, are you trying to say maybe in a Zoom scenario, or what in a chat room, or what exactly, or is it in a normal, that's what I was asking, in a normal outside environment where, like for instance, when I'm going to buy groceries, me as a blind person, I go with my gadget, then as the person talks, it captures the sound, converts it into the sign or into text or sign, and then displays it back. What I'm not sure is whether the deaf actually can be able to read the normal text. Can they?
They can.
Huh?
They can.
And can they be able to write the normal text?
Yes, they can.
Okay, fine. Then maybe the aspects, then maybe I think if you are dealing with the online thing, like for instance, if I am in a chat room, then that's a different thing, because there we already have the tools. But if you are putting an assistant for them, a mobile assistant that they can be able to walk around with, then that can, I think,
It's not an online thing, like Zoom or something. It's an ongoing thing. For example, you're in a office meeting, like physically everyone is there in the office meeting, or a family gathering. Since the deaf person cannot be able to hear what people are saying, the communication can the people can speak into their own phones while they're there, just interacting. And what they say will be
Converted.
and put in
Yeah,
the
but
chat room so that the deaf can follow. And
yeah,
also,
that's what I'm trying to understand. Like, for instance, if you are in a meeting scenario, then what you need to do is to enable the gadget that the blind person the deaf person is using to be able to capture the sound from the other people. So that then it doesn't depend. So I walk into my room, we are in a meeting, I have my device, I don't need to bother the other people, they just talk as normal as the way they talk. As they talk, my device captures, like the way the presidents go and there's a continuous interpretation that is going on as the person is speaking. So I can be able to now, maybe you can fine tune that, whatever that you have, such that then a pitch of a particular level, then that means the person is talking, is the person who is talking, and then it can differentiate between the whispers and so on, and then I can be able to get the person who is next to me or the person who is talking the loudest or whatever, and then I can convert and I know what the person is talking, and then I can, me as a blind person, I can type back, and then it says, yes, that is a good point, because the blind and the deaf are not able to speak, so the system can also change now the text to speech to be like the voice of for the deaf. I think that will be a good thing.
okay.
Good. I think that's quite an innovative process. So just I was keeping kind of, if you can be able to log in with the Office 365, then it will enable you to be able to be entering into even if your network, because I've seen several people network goes off and then they have to come back. So maybe you might be in the lobby and I'm not seeing, because at times I am just looking at the screen of what is presenting, and sometimes I'm doing I'm recording on the other side. So just try to get in touch with Yvonne, so that then she makes sure that your Office 365 is enabled, so that then you can actually be able to move in and out. Of course, there are also other benefits that you can get as a result of having the Office 365. Anyway, that's just house cleaning. Good, thank you very much. That's a good thing. So I don't think it is necessarily has to be related to COVID-19. It can actually be used anytime. So, but then in your problem, that's when you can say that, especially in this time of COVID-19. That's good. And then the next person is Nicole. Nicole. So I need to enable Nicole. Nicole, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, fine. So your name starts with N, I guess. Or you have used the number?
No, I think it's just Nicole. It's just Nicole Muswania.
Okay. Nicole. Fantastic. Good. Made you a presenter. Let me remove Julie. I remove Papa. I remove Stephen. Stephen, please end your presentation. Unless I can take over as a presenter, then stop presenting. Nico?
Yes, I'm uploading the PowerPoint. Is it
Fantastic.
visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, my project is a recommender system for undergraduate degrees for high school students. So many students can make an informed decision about the career path they want to go because they don't have enough career guidance. So my solution is to create a recommender system that would suggest undergraduate degrees to them to guide their career path. So it would take in the input of their subjects, their hobbies, and their preferences, and then it would recommend degrees that seem to be a best fit.
How will you get the hobbies, and what kind of things that will you use? What tools are the parameters that you will use to determine that those hobbies and all those kind of aspects?
They would just input them into the system.
Yeah, but most of like I will have several hobbies. Like if I have hockey, so how will that relate? I wanted to share with you some kind of video I have, which may be like if I have I play maybe hockey. Will that tell now what kind of profession I can take?
Well, it would be a combination of all the things depending on how I train the system to do it.
Yeah, but in a nutshell, like for instance, how do you envisage it to be applicable? Like, give us an example.
Okay, for example, I've just started my KCSE and I don't know what to do. So I put in the subjects that I've taken. And then if I have hobbies that pertain to like art or
like let's say determine if this person can be a computer scientist or not. What will be the characteristics of such a person?
The subjects they've taken, and then if their interests, because they also put in their preferences and their interests. So they would say they're interested in technology.
Like what? Yeah, you could look at it like even just the subjects alone might not, because some of these schools, I don't know what happened to your case, but in most high schools they take almost the same subjects. Takes physics, chemistry, and biology. So it means then if you are trying to distinguish between a medic and a software engineer, probably then that won't help you. And then some schools, especially maybe the Catholic sponsored schools, or then they will take, everyone will have to take maybe CRE. So again, no, and of course they will work hard and get A's. So then there you will not whether the person is. And then now the interest, that's where the problem is. How do you quantify the interest? I would have preferred, like for instance, for the science areas, maybe let me just show you something small. You could be able to use like the arithmetics or the arithmetic skills, or test personality or something like that, which then can give you a kind of a classification on what kind of profession, or rather what kind of course will be better. So this way then you need to have data of, let's say, like you take a personality, for instance, you do a personality test for people, and then personality combined with probably with, because personality will incorporate the interest also, like do you, that when you're doing that, are you a more of an outgoing and stuff like that, so that then at the end of the day you can be able to have a way in which you can classify people based on the data that you have, like this person had this kind of combination of personality or combination of arithmetic skills, and then this is the course that he did, and then this other one, this is a course that he did and is not successful. So maybe something like, start with, let's say something like medicine. You take people who are the character traits of people in medicine, you see whether you can map against the people who are not successful. You see whether they can map to differentiate on, like for instance, if the student comes and does those, you capture those character traits, then you can be able to map course will be good for them.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so I think there's a small thing that probably you could, I hope it's here. So like there's a small video I have of see if it's the right one. Okay, CS 2020. Yeah, that I think. So there's a video I'm uploading there. You can try to check. Like the person tries to, it's a comic kind of. The person tries to classify different professions depending on what the skills, the personalities they have. It's a bit of a funny thing, but I think it can help you a bit to see what to do in terms of that. Asante sana. So thanks a lot. Then we go to the next person. Jaden. Yes, I can hear you. So your name starts with your username you're using here is Jaden, right? Is that the correct pronunciation? Jaden. Okay. Now maybe go ahead. So I think for the rest of every one of you, please try just key in your registration number and the name on the text so that then I can just capture that as the attendant in case your internet internet goes down or you are locked out, then I can be able to capture that. That as Jaden is presenting. Jaden, are you the one producing the noise? Maybe you can tell them to keep quiet. It's not you. Okay. Okay, so I can mute all. Mute. And then Jaden, I can give you unmute. I think that's good. Go on.
Basically, the problem I'm trying to solve is that there's like different resources give different features to the same. So let's say like resource A says that that's always like another basis was like just research. Which can like when it's actually the first place. So like basically my what's that we is going to aggregate the articles from the stories. The report in the story is going to cross-reference them to find the commonality and the conflicts between them.
Like who is supposed to be the user?
There's like the language password. You can just go and search. So then the platform will some different resources and it should cross-reference them.
I understood exactly what you like to. So you like to aggregate. If I may start from just the title, you want to aggregate articles.
Yes.
Then cross-referencing. Maybe you could explain a bit.
Okay, so when you cross-reference like two things, you're trying to figure out like what the differences and what the commonalities are between the two things.
Mm-hmm. So I think in terms of like now nation or something.
Yes, no, like we can get one from like the nation, the star, and it's gonna check like in between them for like the common story and like.
And then now what will be after you have gotten like for instance newspapers report the same title, the same story, like maybe what do you do with that?
The standard says that we've had like 2,000 cases of COVID-19.
Yes.
And they're all in like this one page. Say like goes to something.
Mm-hmm.
Then the nation says that we have like 1,000 cases and they're all in this place.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about like there's a discrepancy between these two articles because they're on the same story, but they're using like different like value.
Mm-hmm. And now, how do you tell who is telling the truth?
Okay, and I also thought of that. So like, once you get like an official newsletter from like WHO or like Ministry of Health.
Yeah, but also the.
Report to the article. Then you can also see like how much like article is and then there's a price in the article. And that's where the is standard available.
But it's normally in a normal report, in a normal reporting standard, unless now it's don't have a place where you can say this is the original and this is the valid. Unless now you want to go to basically do, but that is what is already done. Like for instance, you get similar articles by basically doing word similarity, which is, I think, it's not a very difficult thing, because I think that's what, if you type on Standard Chartered or Nation, basically the all that all the information regarding your like all the stories that are related to giving, because Google will already do that for you in terms of using the similarity measure. Yeah. Yeah, but the difference, the thing is that if you go to the advanced Google search, I don't know whether you have seen it, you can actually rank based on a particular article, and then you can rank this to the one that you are viewing. So it orders. If you look at have you seen that? Yeah, so the thing is that search, although they are not indicating those values, but in the background the values are there. Like for instance, when you type a text something, then they will give you the similarity rate to that. But then if you click on a document, then they will now next a similarity. They will similar will be this, and then they will give you the percentage of similarity between, yeah, something like that between the two. What I think of is, why don't you I don't know, of using the maybe to check originality, I don't know, like both sometimes they copy paste different places, so, or someone says this is my stuff like that, and then yeah, you can check. I think also there is already something, but anyway, you can check on that. But otherwise, for those, yeah, so that you can then see if, but also the is quite, because you are going to use the natural language process, so you can try to check other ways, other application areas which will use the same, you'll use the same technology or approach, but then places that have better application. Okay. Thank you very much, Jaden. Okay. Person is the next person is Phyllis. Phyllis Wangeshi. And then after Phyllis Wangeshi, we have Jerry. Phyllis, can I make you a presenter? Are you there? Phyllis, can you hear me? Or I need to make you Phyllis. You can type so that I can. I am not seeing anything. Phyllis here. Phyllis in? No. Kiragu Phyllis. If Phyllis is not in, then we can go to Jerry Benjamin. Okay. Benjamin, you're next. Benjamin, can you hear me? Jerry Benjamin. Oh, you now. Jerry Benjamin. Oh, let me unmute you. J, okay. Now, then I can unmute you. Jerry, are you there now? Hello? Jerry? I can't hear you. Are you there? So if Jerry is not there, I don't know whether he has gone off or Brian Okoth. Brian Okoth. Either Jerry or Brian Okoth can present. Hey, what's happening? Anyway, who is ready? Let me unmute you all. So who is ready? So Jerry is presenting actually. Jerry, that's good. Can you say something so that I can see whether you are... Jerry? Wow, what's happening? So I think the rest of the people, maybe I are not given you, maybe you may not be well prepared. So anyone else who is prepared, who can present, so that I don't ambush you? Joseph can present. So let me just make you a presenter. Okay, Joseph, go ahead. Joseph and then Salome. I don't know whether we'll have time. So Joseph, please present. Joseph and then Salome. Salome. Okay, make presenter. I think that will be enough. So Joseph, you can do it very fast.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Okay, so my project was focusing on detecting fake trips. You might ask, who are fake trips? Fake trips are people on the Twitter social network trips are people who use the Twitter social network. Basically, anybody who has a Twitter account. Yes. So the problem definition. With the growing internet coverage and usage of internet services, applications such as social networks have seen a large growth rate. That is, many people from different areas of the world are able to make use of these resources. So with all these people using these resources comes along people's personal information being readily accessible over these social networks. And this, in the long run, attracts malicious users who, of course, want to take advantage of this personal data. So yes, these malicious users impersonate close relations, propagate fake news, and even attempt to use this personal information elsewhere, or gain more personal information from what is already existing using phishing attacks. And yes, these actions tend to be the cause of some major crime, cybercrimes, such as what the world is greatly suffering from as fake news. My proposed solution would be to use machine learning classification algorithms to build a platform that detects fake or spam users on Twitter and reports the spammer account to Twitter. Yes.
Sorry, I had not put off. I was asking, is it that you want to detect the content?
Yes.
That is fake, or the account that is fake?
The account that is fake.
The account?
Yes, you detect the fake account based on the user's features and content.
What do you mean by the user's features?
Users' features. Okay, I use Twitter because Twitter have specific policies concerning who is termed as a spam user. A spam user is anyone who has less followers who is following more people than the people that follow them back. But in this case, a lot of us to be in this kind of situations where it might not be a spam user, but the numbers don't balance. So other user features such as social graph, where you expect some sort of social triangles where I can follow you and at the same time follow a close relation to whom you're already following and they follow me back. So things such as that's in terms of the user features. And in terms of content, most spammers tend to post links that are quite silly, and they do this on a very repetitive basis. So that's content such as that it determines whether a user is fake or is a spam.
But I thought that in Twitter they already have a way in which someone has to verify that it has this account is valid or not valid.
Yes, you can verify. Anybody could verify accounts. So even a spammer who just wants to use it for malicious activities could verify accounts.
So how do you help Twitter to be able to verify that?
Okay, you're not really helping Twitter in this case. I'm saying it's more helping a user, but in the long run, helping Twitter.
Yeah, but because you see what you're trying to do is to say that what Twitter is doing now by saying that I thought they normally do a little bit of background, but maybe it is manual.
Most of them are manual, but then at the same time, once you've already verified your account, unless somebody else reports your account for this for claims of your account being spammed, Twitter wouldn't bring it down as long as it's verified.
Yeah, that is the aspect. Now, I don't. Maybe what you need to think about is how do you help Twitter handle that? Like, for instance, a package that you can be able to give to Twitter and say, with this tool of mine, you can actually detect automatically who is a true account, who is a fake account, and then with time, it can also flag the ones that were done as valid account, but now which have done. So maybe that's the way I would have looked at it.
Okay, yeah, I looked at it in that way. But then this current research on social media networks, they already know this large number of fake users, and they do not mind it because in terms of marketing and propagation of ads, they give you a whole number of fake users, and you have to pay for the whole number of users, even if it's not true. So they do not mind it. The people who suffer from this are normal users. So as long as they're able to report, that is all the time. Most of the time, they tend to take action. So basically, this could work like something like a Twitter bot, yes, which takes the handle, the user who you suspect is a bot.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to ask, maybe let me just reframe it. How will you make money from this solution that you are providing? Yeah.
Just a solution. I don't.
Huh?
I don't think I would be looking to make money with this. It's just a solution to solve problems.
Yeah, the solution should be able to be an innovation that can be able to be converted into someone can be able to be willing to do it and then give you a consideration for it.
Okay, yes, in those terms, then probably something.
The business aspect has to be there. Otherwise, if the business is not there, then we are not. We need to pay bills, right?
Yeah. So
yeah,
probably just look at it as something open source.
Yeah, like the business model, who will use the whatever that you want to do, and then how will you as the person who is developing benefit at the end of the day?
Okay, the person who's developing, I think I will benefit from the basic human satisfaction of knowing that my product is being used by people. Because I don't believe you need to sell everything. So the basic of not having to sell it is not new, because a lot of other Twitter products do not use other Twitter bots. So basically, it's just from Google, or since it's an open source project, you have people funding it, or yeah.
Yeah, but I think you still need to think of why will I use your tool, and then if I'm able to answer that question, why will I use your tool, and what will I use it for, and then you can be able to add up to the other part. It's not exactly like you have to think about the money aspect, but what that will trigger you to think of what in terms of the viability of the problem. Anyway, it's something that probably you could like, if you look at it like who will use the system, then you are able to develop for that particular person. But if you confine it to just the general use, then it's difficult to ameliorate the problem, because then you might have similar, yeah, so I have gotten this guy is fake and this guy is not fake, and then what next?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, so that's the thing I will look at it. Now I think we don't have more time. Salome, you were to present, but I think maybe you can present in the next thing. So sorry, I think I should have by now given you the supervisor allocation, but I'm trying to probably think of, let's so as you work on, so I will do that, I think, in the course of today. So before Monday probably you can have the supervisor, but as I said, this initial idea that you have is very important, so I don't want to first of all lose that what you are thinking in the beginning before you meet this supervisor, because they will give you other ways of doing things. So I wanted basically for us to be able to have as many people as possible present, and then so that then when you go to talk to your supervisor, you are more or less fine-tuned your product. So as soon as I allocate you the supervisor, then the next thing is to basically, based on the comments that I have given and what you'll get from the abstract review, then you can be able to remodify the project, and then you can be able to present the extended concept, which is basically going to be the chapter 1 kind of. You'll give the background and so on, and then the next month we can be able to do now the overall proposal. So that's the way I'm thinking about now, to ensure that at least we move a bit fast. So I think we will retain the Tuesday classes, that is 8:15 to 10:15, and then still use this 11:15. So some people will present on that and so on, but not all the Tuesdays I will be available. Most of the Tuesdays I am not normally available, but for this coming one, I will be available. So we'll have a class on that point. So that's, I think, more or less the arrangement. I hope you guys are keeping safe now. I think we are almost, I guess, over with this COVID, or you guys have a different opinion? I think we are almost going back to school. I hope that next month they will not again push by another month. I think all signs look like we might open in the next, I think, was it supposed to be in the next 2 weeks? Yeah. So if that case happens, then I think we will, if the Ministry of Education goes with the, if the Ministry of Education goes with what it had told the primary and high school students, I think they had postponed it, the opening by 1 month. So it means then that we are likely to, schools, a learning institution could be allowed to come in. But I think for our own, for our project, it looks like, for the project presentation, it looks like we are not so much, I guess, affected by the being online. So we will continue on until the time that we are able to meet physically. So if they decide that as from 2nd or whatever of June, then we are supposed to go back, and then we'll schedule into a different timetable, which then we'll meet in a particular class and so on and stuff like that. But for now, then that's how we'll go with it. So the next milestone basically was on just check. So the next milestone was doing the introduction. That was supposed to basically by 31st, that is chapter 1. I think we are on track. And then after that, end of June, we'll do the proposal. So the project proposal, the full project proposal. And then that. So I think we are right on track in terms of the milestones. So you could start thinking about what to, in terms of like the devices and so on, update yourself on the tools that you need. As I said, think about at least a minimum, the user interface to have the mobile part, mobile app, and then maybe for those people who are using IoT, you can also have, and then the band to be the web-based. So that more or less gives a basic project that you can be able to present and be sure that you can provide the innovation. So what will be very crucial is what you're going to, when you review the literature on the past, what the people have done in the past, then you can be able to improve. So that's what I will say for now. So any question before I end? Any question? Any question or comment? Salome, you like to say something? No? Any other person would like to say anything? Any question or comment? What is not clear? Fine, that's good. So we will end there, and then we meet on Tuesday. Okay, bye-bye.